Hello guys, Mode here. I've just been playing Killzone Liberation. Now I remember the original Killzone coming out on PS2 and it being billed as a supposed Halo killer, which is blasphemy really when I think about it. I have such fond memories of playing Reach with my friends, and Halo 4 wasn't so much into the earlier ones, but I do appreciate it a lot.
Listen, Reach has been good to me. Time has come to return the favor. Don't deny me this.
It's obvious Killzone would never reach those heights, and I think it never did. But it still carved a unique enough identity for itself, and definitely enjoyed several releases over the years, peaking with PS3's Killzone 2 of course. I've enjoyed every Killzone, and I have the platinum in most of them, except Shadowfall, unfortunately. Recently, server support has shut down, making the multiplayer trophies completely unobtainable as far as I know. I know sometimes people can make their own custom servers with firmware and all sorts, but I haven't looked into it too much. Just take mind if you're planning on starting Shadowfall. It's a really good game. The campaign is one of my favourite ones out of the Killzone series, but you won't be able to get the platinum as far as I know. Now Killzone 2 was my favourite. I have really good memories of the multiplayer especially. I could lose afternoons in it easily. It's also one of my rarer platinums due to a leaderboard trophy. This involved playing for hours solidly every day to ensure a top placement for the end of the week roster. It's bad enough waiting for a PS3 trophy to pop anyway, but imagine waiting for a trophy on a weekly leaderboard reset. I must have been sweating buckets for that, because I've waited for some trophy pops before and that one would have been stressful, I'm sure of it. So today's video is on Killzone Liberation. It's a prequel to Killzone 2. However, it was a PSP game released in 2006. So that's now been included in PlayStation Classics catalogue for June. Now I've definitely played the demo back in the day, but I never played the full game until now. And let me tell you, I hope you like the colours yellow and brown with some snow. It's the colour palette has not done it any favours. It's not aged well visually. It's got some kind of cute animations here and there that are really pixelated, but for the most part I look like I'm just staring through mud. Maybe I'm being too harsh. It's true I haven't seen PSP graphics for a good while, but when I think of the PSP I think some of the God of War titles that are on there, and Dissidia looked amazing for the time. So I am being harsh, I know, but it's probably more forgiving on a small screen as well, and you're playing it on, you know, your newish 4K TV, and it's meant to be on a PSP screen. Everything stands out a little bit more. Thankfully, the gameplay, there's plenty to like. It's snappy and very playable. It feels heavy. Killzone always felt heavy and grounded to me, almost like an FPS version of Gears of War. It's something I always liked about the series, and I feel like it translates really well into this PSP game. But what about the trophies, you know, the whole point of the video? Well, we couldn't have gotten a more straightforward trophy list, thankfully. The trophies pretty much fall into one of two main camps. The first part is the main campaign. Nice and straightforward, 4 acts, 4 levels in each, with an optional 5th that's not actually needed for the platinum. So really you're looking at 16 levels, and they're about 10 to 15 minutes each. You could take a really methodical approach here and just be like, right, I've done 8 levels, I have 8 left, I'm halfway through. There's only one type of collectible to gather in these levels, and they are the money cases, which are hidden in the crates here. You've just got to smash them and pick up the crate, and that's it. There's probably about 4, 5 or 6 on each level, maybe a few more here, a few less there, and you only need 44 of them total for the 2 trophies. There's one for getting an initial one and then another for the 44th. You'll have this by Act 3 without even trying. Just make an active effort to smash everything you see and you will find your money cases, and you won't have to worry about it after. Then there's trophies for individual weapon kills, a couple of misc, like blowing up a Hellghast with a spider mine. The campaign is simple but fun. It felt I was making progress at any given time, and it went quickly. A couple of hours at most. I did encounter a crash or two, one very annoyingly after a bit of a longer segment. This might have been 20 minutes, and it literally crashed on the final cutscene. You can make manual saves, so perhaps make one every now and again, but it hard saves before each level, and it didn't corrupt, so I have no problems there. Now, the other side of the trophies are the challenge maps. Every time you complete an act, you unlock the challenges for the act. There's 6 in each act, and you need to get a total of 24 gold medals from all the challenges put together. Now, these range from base defense to capturing spider mines in little cages, collectible runs. There's a really good variety of quick fire challenges here. Now, this would definitely be the hardest part to platinum. In fact, it is. However, there is a pause menu with save and load states, and even better, a kind of emulation rewind time function. You can Prince of Persia anything and just rewind 10 seconds, 30, a minute, whatever you need to replay your segment. This makes making mistakes very lenient. You can just get on with it, and if you make a mistake, you can rewind 20 seconds, and you can use this throughout the campaign as well. It's just, I noticed and needed it a bit more on the challenge maps rather than the campaign. I really appreciate features like this, especially on older games, you know, when they add 2 or 3 times speed or a rewind function, save load states. These are older games and they are harder to play, so anything like this is really good, especially for trophy hunters. It makes for a really easy platinum, but it didn't take the fun out of it, and maybe that's because I'm just a big fan of Killzone. But I felt like the shooting and the level progression was just fun enough to not feel like this was just an easy dead in the water platinum that I wasn't enjoying. I definitely enjoyed this playthrough. I really hope for a new Killzone. It's one of my favourite PlayStation flagship kind of series. Maybe they could do a full remake, something PS5 related, because it's always been at the forefront of the consoles. You've had the PS2 as a big flagship release, Killzone 2 and 3 on the PS3, Mercenaries on the Vita, which is probably my favourite FPS on the Vita, and I've played a couple. Resistance is good on that as well. So yeah, my point is they should probably do another Killzone for the PS5. Now, Horizon is doing very well at the moment. They're the same developers who make Killzone. Obviously it's going well for them. Maybe they'll come back to it, or maybe they won't. I can live in the past and play as Radek in PlayStation All-Stars, I guess, until they announce a new one, and that'll be fine. So in summary, as you're waiting for a new Killzone, this is a really good title to play. Perhaps in between a couple of longer platinums. This took me about 9 hours in total, and that's probably with some idle time as well. So remember, if you subscribe to Premium, you unlock this classic in the Classics catalogue, and you can download this for free. They add new games like this every month. This probably was announced and I missed it. I only found it the other day because I try to check it every now and again. They added Worms and some others, but most of them don't actually get trophy support. This was a surprise, and a welcome one at that. So if you play it, let me know what you think. If you played it on a PSP, let me know how your claw hand is. I imagine it being a nightmare on the actual hardware. But thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.